Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. We are all welcome to this episode of our Arabic grammar lessons with النحو الواضح. Nice meeting you all again. Inshallah, we are falling into another fresh topic. We've seen the al-istithna and we are done with it. Now, I would advise again, as you are done with al-istithna, the goal is not that you've listened to the video. The goal is not the listening, that you view the video. The goal is in you understanding the topic, such that even when you go to pick any other different book of Arabic grammar and you see this topic, you already know what the topic talks about. So it's not about just I've watched the lesson 1, I've watched the lesson 2, oh I'm done, I'm almost on the lesson 80. That is not the goal. The goal is that I know all these topics. Okay, normally I tell my students that I would want that the way I'm explaining the lesson to you, when you are explaining to the next person, it should be better. You pick from me, you pick from somewhere else, you double it, and then you give it out. So please do well to make sure that you know the qawaid, you understand the topic of al-mustathna very well. Okay. Now we come to our fresh topic, al-hal. Al-hal in English, I think, is it the conditional clause or something like that? I wish I could just find the English equivalent of it. There is a name they call it. Inshallah, we would find it and then inshallah we would give it out. I think there is circumstantial adverb. Okay, circumstantial adverb, something like that. Yes, or the condition. Everybody has a way they call it, but then the circumstantial adverb and the condition basically. So hal literally means condition. When we say al-hal, bimana condition. So that is why you ask somebody kayfa haluka or kayfa al-hal. Kayfa al-hal bimana how is the condition. Kayfa haluka means how is your condition. So when we say al-hal in grammar, it is a particular set of nouns that we call the hal. And they have the way they come, they have the grammatical case they come with. That is what we have to look here. Before we even get in, when we say hal, we are looking at the condition of two things. In a verbal sentence, it comes in a verbal sentence, and so we are looking at the hal of the fa'il or the hal of the maf'ulun bihi. So when you have a verbal sentence, you have two nouns in it, the fa'il and then the maf'ulun bihi. The hal, when it comes, can refer to the condition of the fa'il and it can refer to the condition of the maf'ulun bihi. So this is just the introductory lesson of the al-hal. He says, عاد الجيش ظافرا. عاد الجيش, the military have returned. عاد, they have returned. How did they return? He says, ظافرا, triumphant, victorious. So the soldiers or the army returned victorious. أقبل المظلوم باكيا. Al-mazlumu is the oppressed, the one that has been subjected to oppression. Al-mazlumu, or somebody who has been treated unjustly. So aqbala is to approach. The oppressed approached. How did the oppressed approach? Bakiyan, crying. So the oppressed one approached crying. Jaral ma'u safiyan. Jaral ma'u, the water flowed. Safiyan, purely. The water flowed purely. Jamil. So we are focusing on these last words. Zafiran, Bakiyan, Safiyan. Realize that they are all mansub. That is one thing you should know. We come to this side. We have bi'tul qutna mahlujan. Bi'tul qutna. I sold the cotton. And then he says mahlujan. When we say mahlujan, from halj. Okay, halj or halaja, that is to gin a cotton, gin, to take out the seeds from the cotton. You know, when you farm the cotton and harvest it, it has seeds in it. You need to take out the seeds. There is a ginning machine somewhere, they do it manual with the hands and very tedious work. And sometimes there is a ginning machine that is used to remove all that. So when we say mahlujan, bimana, I sold the cotton ginned. Okay, ginned, the cotton, I sold it pure, bimana, I sold it pure, free of the seeds. That is the mahluj. So when we say al-qutnul mahluj, bimana, a cotton that is pure from the seeds. It says, la tashrab al-ma'a kadiran, do not drink water polluted. Kadir, bimana, polluted or disturbed. Kadir is not used for just water alone. It's used for even society. When the peace of the society is polluted, there is chaos in the society. Al-mujtama'a kadirun. Al-mujtama kadiratun, or the community is polluted. La talbas al-thawba, do not wear the dress. Mumazzaqan, torned. Do not wear the dress torned. Mumazzaqan. So here also we have mahlujan, kadiran, and then mumazzaqan. So we realize that all the last words, of course, you know ada, which is fi'l, jaysh is fa'il, aqbala wal mazlum, fi'l fa'il, jar al ma'u fi'l fa'il, bi'tul qutna fi'l fa'il maf'ul bihi, la tashrab la an-nahiya, tashrab fi'l mudari majzum bi la an-nahiya, al ma'a maf'ul bihi mansub. So la here also is la an-nahiya, talbas the same i'rab, al-thawba is maf'ul bihi the same i'rab. So you know all these. The only noun that you might be wondering what is its i'rab is the zafiran, bakiyan, safiyan, mahlujan, kadiran, mumazzaqan. Its i'rab is basically halun mansub. Halun mansub. Why do we say it is the hal? It is the one showing us the condition of either the fa'il, the doer, when the action was occurring, or the condition of the object, that is a maf'ulun bihi, when the action was occurring. So Zafiran here shows us how the army returned. Bakian shows us how the oppressed approached. Safian shows us how the water flowed. Okay. Bi'tul qutna mahlujan. Mahlujan shows us the nature of the cotton when you sold it. La tashrab al-ma, do not drink water. Kadiran. So kadiran bimana is showing the nature of the water and preventing you from drinking. Talbas al-thawba mumazzaqan. Mumazzaqan is showing you the condition, nature of the dress that I'm preventing you from wearing. So all the last nouns, you find them coming mansub, they are the hal. Hal is part of the mansubat. For those who followed the al-ajrumiyya lessons also on this channel, you might already know this, and this will be a revision for you. Knowing this, let's quickly go through the bahth. He says, unzur ila al-kalimat. Look at the following words. Look at the words. Zafiran, victorious or triumphant. Bakiyan, crying. Safiyan, pure. Mahlujan, free from seeds. Kadiran, polluted or disturbed. Mumazzaqan, torned. T-O-R-N-E-D. That's the spelling here. Torn, bimana, it has a lot of, the dress has been torn apart. Now, it says, في الأمثلة المتقدمة. Look at these words in the previous examples. تجدها جميعا أسماء منصوبة. You find all of them being nouns that are mansub. That is the first thing you should look at. Hal is always mansub. وهذا بين واضح, and this is apparent and clear. وهذا بين واضح ولكننا نريد أن نعرف المعنى الذي استفاده السامع من وجود هذه الكلمات في الجمل. But we want to know the meaning that the listener got or benefited from the existence of these words in the sentences. Okay, نريد أن نعرف ماذا وجده السامع من وجود هذه الكلمات. يعني لولا وجود هذه الكلمات ماذا يفقد هذا السامع، وبوجوده ماذا يستفيد. Okay, ماذا يوجد هناك. نعم. So he says habke. My print here PDF doesn't have the nokta. That's why I advise you should get the hard copy on your side as a support. There should be a dot here. It's habke. Habke kulta. Say that you say, like, for instance, you say habke bimana, for instance, kulta, you said, ad al jaishu. You say ad al jaishu, what does it mean? The army has returned. فهل يفهم السامع شيئا أكثر من وقوع العودة من الجيش الذي هو الفاعل في هذه الجملة. He's asking, does the listener understand anything more than just the return of the army, which is the fa'il of this sentence? Does any listener, when you say ad al jaishu, the one listening, does he understand anything more than just the soldiers have returned? Of course, no. Al-jawabu la. Because that's just what you've said. ولكنك إذا أضفت إلى الجملة ظافرا. But if you should add to the sentence ظافرا, if you should add the word ظافرا to add الجيش, فهم السامع هيئة الجيش وحاله التي كان عليها حين عودته. So the listener then understand the hay'a of the jaysh, وحاله. Hay'a bimana the nature, وحاله and the condition of the army. When you say add al-jaysh zafiran, by adding the word zafiran in this manner, the listener understands how the army returned, the nature in which they returned. Says كذلك لو قلت بعت القطن. If you should say بعت القطن, just that alone, لم يفهم السامع الحال التي كان عليها القطن حين بيعك إياه. So when you say بعت القطن, the listener does not understand the condition, al-hal, that is the most important thing. The listener doesn't understand the condition that the cotton was upon when you were selling it. I wouldn't know whether you sold it free of the seas or with the seas. But the moment you say ولكنك إذا قلت بعت القطن محلوجا, the moment you say you sold the cotton محلوجا, عرف السامع حال القطن الذي هو المفعول به في هذه الجملة حين البيع. The listener understands the nature that the cotton was on, how the cotton was. The cotton, al-qutn here being the maf'ul bihi in the sentence, the listener understands the nature of it when you were selling it, حين البيع. And he says, وبهذه الطريقة تستطيع أن تدرك أن الكلمات الأخيرة في أمثلة القسم الأول إنما جاءت لتبين هيئة الفاعل وتشرح حاله حين وقوع الفعل. So with this way, by following this way, you get to comprehend that the words, the last words, al-kalimat al-akhira, they are the focus, that the last words in the first category of examples here, in here, عاد الجيش ظافرا أقبل المظلوم باكيا جرى الماء صافيا. All these, the hal, the word that comes for the hal, shows the hal of the fa'il. Al-jayshu, al-mazlumu, al-ma'u. The hal here explains the nature of the fa'il. So that is what he's telling us here, that في أمثلة القسم الأول إنما جاءت لتبين هيئة الفاعل. It comes to show the nature of the fa'il. وتشرح حاله, and also explain its condition حين وقوع الفعل, when the action is occurring. ولذلك يسمى كل منها حالا من الفاعل. So when the hal explains the nature of the fa'il, we call it حال من الفاعل. When the hal, you realize that it is explaining the nature of the fa'il and the condition of the fa'il during the occurrence of the action, you call it halun, alright, but then it is halun min al-fa'il, the hal of the fa'il. كما يسمى الفاعل في الجمل نفسها. The fa'il in these sentences, they are called صاحب الحال. So hal is the hal min al-fa'il, and the fa'il becomes the صاحب الحال, that the owner of the hal, the owner of that condition. So عاد الجيش ظافرا, The zafiran here, it is the jaysh that owns the zafr. Okay. وكذلك تستطيع أن تدرك أن كل كلمة من الكلمات الأخيرة في القسم الثاني حال من المفعول به. And then when you come to the قسم الثاني here, you realize that the mahlujan explaining al-qutna, the condition of al-qutna, which is the maf'ul bihi. Kadiran explaining the nature of al-ma'a, which is the maf'ul bihi in this sentence. Mumazzaqan explaining the condition of al-thawba, which is the maf'ul bihi in this sentence. And so he says, وكذلك تستطيع أن تدرك أن كل كلمة من الكلمات الأخيرة. And then also you know that the words, each word among the ending words, last words, in the قسم الثاني, in the second part where I just showed you, حال من المفعول به. That place where the hal is explaining the nature of the مفعول به, we say it is حال من المفعول به. And in that case, the مفعول به becomes the what? صاحب الحال. وأن المفعول به هو صاحب الحال. In that case, so the hal comes, if it is explaining the nature of the fa'il, it becomes halun min al-fa'il. And the fa'il in that case becomes the sahib al-hal. If the hal comes to explain the nature of the maf'ul bihi, then the hal here becomes halun min al-maf'ul bihi. And the maf'ul bihi becomes the sahib al-hal. Why should you know this? So that you can know how to put the meaning very well and translate it alright. Al-Qaeda, he says, الحال اسم منصوب يبين هيئة الفاعل أو المفعول به حين وقوع الفعل. The hal is اسم منصوب, so you know it's part of the منصوبات الأسماء, nouns that are منصوب. Hal is part, just like مفعول به. Okay, so we have الحال اسم منصوب يبين هيئة الفاعل أو المفعول به. It is a noun that is mansub, comes to clarify the nature of the fa'il or maf'ul bihi. حين وقوع الفعل, when the action is occurring. ويسمى كل من الفاعل أو المفعول به صاحب الحال. And the fa'il or the maf'ul bihi, in the case where the hal is explaining the fa'il is called the sahib al-hal. And when the hal is explaining the nature of the maf'ul bihi is called the sahib al-hal. Inshallah, our next topics will throw more light on this. We have anwa'ul hal. Anwa'ul hal will come to throw more light on this topic for us. So you can start reading through. It's a lengthy one. You can start reading through if you are done with this and understand it very well. Also, you shouldn't forget the vocabularies that you meet that you don't know. Make sure you save them. If it's an expression, make sure you save it. Even though it is a grammar lesson, but then there are words, expressions, sentences in here that you might need in your everyday speaking of Arabic language. This brings us to the end of this lesson, Al-Hal. If you've not subscribed, do well to do so, and do well to share for others to also benefit. Don't forget to leave a like if the lesson has been beneficial to you, and also don't forget to drop your question if anything is confusing you so that we can clarify it for you. Till we meet again, have a very good Arabic time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.